I hope your video looks better than mine looks on here. Anyway, had a few little glitches and stuff, but here we are. So welcome. Aloha. Welcome to Aloha Art Ambassadors. Today I'm going to teach you how to make these lovely boho tassel earrings. Super simple, and I think it'll be really fun. And what you are excited about today. And if you're joining us live, will you do me a favor and put hashtag live? That'd be great. Um, so I first off want to thank Jan Tatsutani for inviting me and allowing me to share this with you. I just loved taking her classes. Well, I'm really enjoying them still, but I'm loving her classes. And oh, here we are. Hi, Jan. Oh, thanks for coming. Oh, you're so welcome. I love your heart and vision for this channel, that during this interesting time, this uncertain time, she wanted to reach out to her artist friends and ask if they would share their gifts with the world, because we're all kind of in the same boat and stuck at home, or maybe not stuck at home. Maybe some of us are excited, learn a new skill, do something fun. And Jan's heart was to really reach out to those all around the world who might be just feeling a little lonely or not sure what to do with themselves, to be a bright spot in your day. Hi, Michelle. Welcome. Thank you for jumping on here. Yeah, so she wanted it to just be something you could look forward to every week. And I love that she's bringing a wide variety of artists. So there's something for everyone, pretty much. So again, today we're going to make these earrings. And yeah, I tried to pick something pretty simple. And there are a few design elements we can choose for this. I liked it because it was versatile and you could throw something else into the design. You could really design it yourself. You could do a lot of different colors. And I actually did contrasting colors so that you would be able to see exactly what was going on. But you don't have to do that. You can use the same thread. And then once we finish, I'll give you some other ideas to maybe jazz it up a little bit. Hopefully, oh, thanks, Chan. Yeah, they're pretty. I'm not like a dangle girl usually, though. So I would have had them on. I probably should have them on. I'm sorry, I don't. But yeah, so they are beautiful. Um, let's talk tools. Hopefully you were able to gather your tools or order them and get them in. If not, it's okay. This will be available to watch later. But you definitely are good from Beat It in Kaimuki. I use this all the time. If you're going to invest in tools, if this is something you think you might want to do more often or just really play with it, you want to invest in some tools. I use this every day. I've been doing this for about 6 years, seriously. So yeah, I use these all the time. But we're going to focus on two. This is that. And we're going to use the bent nose pliers. So now these are not your dad's or your husband's garage tools. The reason being is you don't want to use those rough tools on fine silver or gold or just like delicate metals, because it will mar the finish and it won't look right. So we call these our princess tools. I know, kind of silly, but princess tools are not for garage. Garage tools are not for the projects. We need to keep these separate. We want to keep them nice, so you're not getting chips and nicks in here, because that will mar the finish on your product too. So yeah, I do have one project maybe we can work on later that you can use the garage tools, but not today. So we have these that we're going to be using. And then we also need, this makes a really nice flush cut. That's why it's called a flush cutter, but it's for wire. Just a simple pair. You don't have to buy a kit like this. You can go and buy all these items individually. I know locally, Ben Franklin carries them, like Thanks, Michelle. Yeah, that's not my original. Some of my other jewelry friends call them princess tools, so I just kind of adopted that. It makes sense. Yeah, I linked a lot of those. I linked a list on the Instagram, I think it was. And I'll be doing that again for every project that we do. But these are going to be your workhorses. You definitely want to get these. All right, so the next thing you're going to need is some embroidery floss. And I actually bought like this whole array of it. Nice color selection. But I'm going to do two different colors again today, a little contrast so you can see exactly what is going on, where it's going. And we are also going to need, hang on, this one's a little bit harder to see, but hopefully you can see them. We're going to use a large size 10 or 12 millimeter jump ring. So it's just like an O ring, and it's open, so we can use it to clasp and bring things together. And then we also are going to use ear wires. These guys are really little too. It's kind of hard to see. Oh, hang on. So sorry. Hopefully you can see that. So just whatever metal you want, you can choose your own. I have sterling silver today. I like to use fine metals, but if you're just starting out practicing, you could use copper, you could use brass, you could use silver plated, anything like that. You can use stainless steel. Um, oh, good. I'm glad you could see it, Jan. They are very tiny. But yeah, so that's why on all my stuff I put CYOM. Choose your own metal. So yeah, whatever you prefer. You can even mix your metals. That's kind of really in right now. And then you needed a couple things from around the house. A pair of scissors. Um, I actually used this yarn thread, whatever, to do these first ones, but I found that this part of the cardboard worked perfectly for making them. So I'm going to use this again. You just need a little piece of cardboard. This is about, I don't know, about 3 inches. We're going to use about this 3 by 2 inch space right here. But really, you're going to get a size, like if you want longer ones, you're going to want a wider one. If you want shorter ones, I mean, we can always cut it, but it just depends on what size you want to make. And then, oh, where did I put it? I just brought it down here. Okay, somewhere I have some glue, this great glue. I will find it. Hopefully it's sitting around here. Okay, maybe it's not. I will post the glue in the links. It's not completely necessary, but I like it just to have extra insurance. Okay, so let's jump in here. So what we're gonna do is take your cardboard and your skein of embroidery that thread. Let's see. Yeah, that's probably not gonna work. I'll just have to hold everything up. Thank you so much for your patience. To be a bright spot, just like Jan has planned for this channel. I love the whole thing. It's great. So if you've ever made a tassel, we're gonna do that. Start with your cardboard. You're gonna go ahead and start wrapping. For this pair behind me, I did 15 wraps, but you can decide, like if you want it fuller, then you can do more. If you want it a little bit less, you can do less. But I did 15 and I didn't even start counting this, so bear with me. I think I've got like 4 there. Another thing, so these, all right, they're gonna come on and off a lot, so forgive that too, please. Yeah, maybe, yeah, hopefully you won't understand that someday. I hope your eyesight is perfect for your whole life, but I just have to deal with it. Okay, so I'm up to 4, 5, 6, 7. You don't need to watch me count. I'll just do it fast. Okay, 15. And I try to keep it fairly even. You want it to be nice and smooth like that. Okay. And then we're going to set that aside for a minute, but leave it on your cardboard because we want to keep it nice and all together. So we're going to jump over here to the jump rings. I'm going to teach you about that. Oh, and I forgot. I should have told you the steps first. Next time, I will tell you the steps first. And oh, Jan, you're so sweet. Thank you. Just so you know kind of where we're going. So forgive me for that. Next time I will do that. Okay, so this is when we're gonna grab both pairs of our pliers, the chain nose and the bent nose. And so if you look at your jump ring and you need to find the opening. So mine's right at 12 o'clock. Probably can't see that too well, but right at 12 o'clock. So what we're gonna do, I'll explain the action. To open this, you don't want to go this way. So like if this were your circle um, or your jump ring, so this is solid down here. You don't wanna pull this way because look what happens. I mean, obviously it's not connected, but you can see what happens. This bottom part, if you open this a bunch of times, you're gonna begin to weaken that point, and then it's gonna break. So we don't wanna do that. So to take the tension off of it, we want to do a kind of push-pull action. So it can go either way. We're gonna go like that. So I'm gonna grab the jump ring with the opening at 12 o'clock again. And you also don't wanna just grab it like with the very tips, because look at your surface area. You have very little surface area to open that up. So we want to have a solid grab on there. I'm going to turn it sideways and grab as much of that surface as I can. Again, my opening's right at the top, and then I'm going to come alongside with the curved guys right here. I'm going to do a push-pull, and I want to open this up pretty wide. Oh, good, Jan. I hope that this is new for some people. It's pretty easy to learn, but yeah, it's fun. This is my life's passion, I guess. So I've got that guy open pretty full. All right. So now go back to, we'll set that aside. Go back to your thread. I'm going to snip this guy. If you wanted to, you could do them both at the same time, do the other one right next to it, but we're gonna just start with one. And then, if you've ever made a tassel, you know at this point you're gonna put another piece of thread through here and tie it. But the only change we're making is we're gonna thread our jump ring through there instead. So that becomes what holds it. So let me see if I can do this on camera. I'm just going to thread it right through there and kind of pull it to the top. Hopefully you can see that. Oh, hang on. Sorry. So you can see that. Then we're going to go back and grab it. Try to get as much as you can. It's going to be a little awkward, especially me with this whole huge bobbin on here. I suppose I could have just cut that off. Maybe I will. All right, so I'm going to grab it. Sorry, I'm doing this off camera. Maybe one day I'll have like a YouTube camera. All right. Yeah, this is awkward. So push, pull, and of course I've got the glasses on. Sorry. Okay, so push, pull. Gotta see what I'm doing here. Um, and then I'll show you with my fingers because there's a little bit of a trick to it. Okay, so you had your jump ring and it was open. We're gonna do the push, pull, but as we're doing this push, pull, we also need to kind of be bringing these guys together just in little micro movements so that it will come flush together. And I usually just wait till I feel kind of like a grind and then I know, okay, we're good. And then you want to straighten it this way, but then look at it this way too and make sure that it's even that way as well. Off, just like you would a tassel. Give me just a second. We're just going to cut that off. But don't lose it because even though you have it threaded on there, these are still, now that you've cut it, they're all loose, so they can come out. Next, we need to get another length of our, oh, I was gonna do the contrasting color. All right, so we need to get a length, probably like about a foot or so. No, probably like 6 inches. I don't know. You need a bit because we're going to wrap it. So I'm gonna get a piece of that. And then, just like a tassel, you're going to come down a little bit. Go ahead and tie that on there. Give it probably not a knot. Yes, a knot. Let's do it tight. For a tassel, we want it tight. All right. I hope I'm not going too fast. If I am, please let me know in the comments. I can slow down, or if you have any questions, I definitely will try my best to answer. So I'm doing just like a square knot, right over left over right. Pretty simple. And you can leave the little tail because we'll trim that up at the end. And then you can decide how wide or skinny you want it. And leave yourself a little bit more of a tail than I did, because now we're gonna have to tie this off. But it'll be fine. I'll get it. All right, so I'm doing another square knot. All right, almost done. You guys with me here? Is anyone actually doing this live with me? Let me know in the comments. And if I'm too fast or too slow or whatever, please let me know. Okay, so voila. Now, sometimes when I made the first one, these little threads were kind of bumping up. So then I held the jump ring and kind of started just pulling individually, pulling these down, evening it out, making it nice. Oh, Michelle, I hope you're able to do them at some point. They're kind of popular right now. And I love that you can do any color you want. So versatile. You could make a whole wardrobe of them. All right. So pulling this tight, and I'm going to snip off these threads very close to the knot. And then I will glue them, which, as I told you, I brought my glue, but I don't know where I put it now. The glue that I use is for jewelry making. It has a very, very, very fine tip to it, which I love it. Because then you can get into these tight spaces. I'll link that for you guys. You can see, but you could use Elmer's. I would just maybe water it down just a tiny bit and use a toothpick and just dab that on there. That would be fine. All right, so that part's done. Now we have a design decision to make. So when I originally made these, I don't know if you noticed, but I combed one out. Here, it's a little, let me fluff it a little. Okay, so I combed this one out. You can see strands, but you can decide whichever way you like it. If you like it a little fluffier, if you want it to be a little bit more straight and thicker strands, you can decide. And I actually use this nifty pair of tweezers that came in my jewelry kit. They're very like fine pointed. I use this to comb it out, but you could use a comb, you could use a toothpick. If you had an old toothbrush, it might work. Yeah, so those are some ideas for that. For the sake of time, I'm just gonna leave this guy today. Now we have one last step and we're done. Go and get your ear wire. If you notice on the end, it's got kind of like a jump ring. So same thing, we're just gonna go in. And I like to, sometimes if you have your fingers in there, it can get misshapen. So it just keeps it nice. And so I'm gonna grab it like that, get a nice surface area. Then I'm gonna grab just below that ball. Not every ear wire has that ball though. I like these, just you don't need much because your jump ring is not very big. And then we're just gonna thread that on and close it up. And you're done. You've got your earring. Of course, you'd want to make two. Well, I mean, I guess you could, maybe it'd be a, I don't know, maybe somebody would only want one, and that's fine. Mother's Day is coming up soon. This would make a great gift for mom or aunties or, I don't know, your sister, whomever. But there you have it. Our boho tassel earring. Now I have some bonus content for you, just a little bit. So say you wanted to customize this and make it different. You could hang a charm off of there. Thanks, Jan. You could hang a charm from here, or you could take some really small beads if you wanted to. You could add them throughout. Maybe I'll post some pics. I'll try some of those so you can see some examples and you can see just how you could customize it. You could throw some actual, I don't know, metal beads in there or wood. I have these tiny ones. That might be really pretty. Comb it out, don't comb it out, make it your own. But that's our boho tassel. Yeah, isn't it amazing how fast you can make them? So I've kind of always been making jewelry my whole life. Even when I was little, I took a class in high school. Hang on, I'm gonna grab a drink of water really quick. I just always loved to create. There's just something about jewelry, and took class in high school and just got really creative with stuff. I was kind of into earrings. Our teacher was like, get super creative, and I would do all these weird things, like, I don't know. um, but anyway, so when I kind of really got serious about making jewelry, um, it was when we first moved here in 2012, and I started taking classes at Beat It. They have a lot of amazing classes, and I just fell in love with it. And at the same time, I was homeschooling my two sons, so teaching a lot. Not the same as classroom teaching, but still just loving that element. I love to share and show people new things, how to do things. And yeah, so then I started working at Beat It for a while, and then we moved, and it was such a far drive. Um, so I had to give that up. Oh, thanks, Jan. Thank you. I had to give that up. We moved out to Eva, but I was teaching a few classes up there and I just loved it. I fell in love with it. So I'm so happy to be able to share this with you guys today. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have anything that you would like to learn, let me know that too. I don't know how long this channel will be going. Maybe it'll just be an ongoing thing even after this is over. But guys, if you'd like to join me. So this one's going to be a simple drop earring. Oh, you're welcome, Jan. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. So I did these with pearl, but the sky is really the limit on these. Oh my goodness, you can do something like this. Whatever beads you have. I've done some like this. You make them as long or as short. You can use big beads. Got some like this, the 1-inch ones. You can use puka shells. Whatever you have. If you have some supplies from a different project laying around, yeah, you could definitely use those for next week. The only thing that's not going to work is like a pony bead because the hole is way too big. So we're going to do that. And then I need to talk about head pins for that class as well. So where's my big bead? Oh, here it is. You want to make sure. Oh, thank you. I know, those are my favorite too, Jan. That's some of my favorite colors. So we're going to use these head pins, and let me grab one out. It's kind of like a very, oh, what would you equate this to? It's kind of like a delicate nail. Kind of. That's weird, but yeah. So there's a couple of different styles. Actually, more than a couple. I only have two here, but you have a very simple, basic, kind of like a nail head. It's flat on the top, or the bead on the top. That's my favorite. I just like that little element. So when you are getting your head pins, this is about 1.5 inches. It's going to be determined, what size you get is going to be determined by your beads. So this is a pretty big bead. It's probably 2/3, I don't know, 1/2 inch, maybe less. Anyway, I have plenty to work with, but if I were to take this, say 1-inch bead, I'm not going to have enough to work with. So if you have a longer bead, make sure you get like a 2, oh, maybe not that one. The hole is too big. It's going through. I can troubleshoot that one for you too. Plenty, I have plenty of room. And you can decide if you want to do one bead on it 2 beads on it. Maybe I'll do a variation tomorrow and teach you how to do singular beads. Not tomorrow, sorry, what did I say tomorrow? I love this so much, like, I wanna do it every day. Okay, not gonna happen, sorry. But probably next Wednesday, I'll ask Jan what's on the schedule, but anyway, yes, so just 1.5 inches for these little beads is fine, but if you have longer beads, make sure you get a 2-inch or a 3-inch. Yeah, I think that's all I have. Super fun. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope that this oh, yes, Jan says next Wednesday, same time, 9 a.m. Oh, you're welcome, Michelle. You're so welcome. Yeah, I hope you guys can join me. Hopefully you have some beads laying around or you're able to get some on Amazon or at a local craft store. I will be posting um, the supply list for next week. I'll be posting that soon. And let me make sure, let me look over my notes here. Oh, if you like this video, you want more content like this, go ahead and hit the thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We're gonna have a lot more artists, different things coming up, and we'd love to see you on it. I hope that this was, bye.